Once again, welcome to Seek, Find, and Travel. Today we're going to be talking just a quick review on the Holland American Eurodam review. We've actually gone on the Eurodam twice on cruises and enjoyed both trips on that. And we looked at videos just like a lot of you guys are doing right now. And, you know, especially if you're going to Alaska, the Eurodam tends to be one of the main ships that people take because they tend to go through Glacier Bay. And it's beautiful, and it's, like I said, it's one of the best cruises we've been on. We did go back probably, I think it was 2017 was our first time taking the Eurodam, and it was my first cruise, so ever. So and I of course said I would never cruise, but I ended up cruising and I loved it. So I was biased, and every cruise I had been on, I always compared it to the Eurodam, and I'm like, this is amazing, nothing can get better, until we started trying other cruise lines and saw bigger ships, and now I feel like going back on the Eurodam to Alaska, we're able to give a better review on the ship. The ship itself, like I said, it was launched in 2008, but it was refurbished in 2018. So it's a nice ship. It does make you, after you go on other cruise lines, you start to realize that some of the things are a little dated, but it has a classy feel to it. It is a ship that you feel like you're doing traditional cruising, and it feels like you're on the open seas doing cruising. Do you have any first thoughts about the Eurodam that you'd like to add?
It was interesting that it was refurbished. Having sailed on it before the refurbishment and then after, I did notice some changes, and that explains why I couldn't find certain areas the second time around, is because they refurbished it. But it's a beautiful ship, and it does feel a lot more like classic cruising. It's not going to be a party ship. It's not going to be all of the new era of cruising, and so it's very nostalgic, and I do like part of that about it. It does. But with that, you can tell, like, there's some differences between the newer ships and the older ships, which, having now sailed on a newer ship like the Enchanted Princess and then going back to the Eurodam, you can really tell the differences between the design on the ships.
And like I said, if you've never cruised before, you're going to love the Eurodam. If you're someone that is going to all the new ships and you like the modern technologies and things like that, you're gonna see some clunkiness about the Eurodam. But depending on your cruise, you can overcome that. And it does, like I said, when you go to Alaska, like if you're taking the Alaska cruise, the Eurodam works great because it slows you down. If you're someone that's just looking to have a traditional cruise and just check out glaciers and go to beautiful sceneries, and you just want to slow down, the Eurodam is amazing for that. And there's beautiful picture opportunities, and there's just so many great opportunities for you just to unwind, and it's great.
And enjoy nature.
Yeah.
The ship is set up with a lot of outward facing areas, and even they have the full promenade deck, which a lot of newer ships, they don't have a full deck all the way around the ship. And so it's created for a way of enjoying the nature of Alaska.
And like I said, the Eurodam was the first cruise I'd ever gone on. So when I first saw the Atrium, I was like, this is amazing. Look at that. Look how great it looks. And it's brilliant. It's beautiful. And it is. I mean, if you've never cruised before and you go with this is beautiful. But if you've been on, like we just got back on the other Princess cruise, and the Atrium on the Eurodam, now that I'm looking at videos, makes me feel almost claustrophobic.
It feels a lot smaller.
It feels a lot smaller. So if you're someone that's used to a lot of space in the Atrium area, you're going to feel a little claustrophobic on the Eurodam. But with saying that, the Eurodam actually has 2,104 passengers is what it can hold, and 876 crew. So a total around 3,000 people on the ship. So it's a smaller demographic. You're having less people. So even though the Atrium may be smaller, you have less people. So you have a lot of areas to just explore and walk around that it's not as packed. The walking path was great. That's one thing that these ships have. I knew on another Holland ship we went on, as well as on the Eurodam, the walking path is a complete walking path. And a lot of the newer ships, I've noticed, whether Princess, MSC, it seems like the walking paths are having to go up a floor, down some stairs, or it's small. But on the Eurodam, it was a great walking path. Do you have anything to add about the walking path? Or
it was just that it's nice because you can take laps around the entire ship on the outside on the Eurodam. And so like a lot of the other ships we've been on that are newer, only like maybe half of the ship has the walking path, and you have to go upstairs and downstairs if you want to do all the way around, or you can't do it at all. Some ships don't even give you a chance. And so I did appreciate that, especially when you're in Alaska, you're doing the inside passage. You can actually like watch wildlife from the promenade deck. And so it's nice to get a coffee and just walk the deck and watch for whales. We saw tons of whales just from our deck, doing our laps around the ship. So I really appreciate that aspect of this ship.
And it's, especially with glaciers and things like that, because you could just get certain angles on the ship, and it's perfect for perfect angles and things like that. I did see that, like I said, there was great shops. I think of all the cruises I've been on, the Holland America shops I like the best. I mean, the shops seem to hit everything you need if you forgot your cups or you need a sweater and things like that. Sometimes it doesn't matter to people, but to me it mattered, and I think Holland America hit it out of the ballpark. Something that was big for us was the buffets. Like I said, my first cruise was with Holland America, and I loved the buffet style. I loved the brilliant, awesome, good food. We would get the first cruise, we would get the same level of food in the restaurants as you would in the buffet. And the first time around, you get lobsters and you get everything.
Well, and even like the onboarding lunch buffet had prime rib. And I've been on a couple other cruise lines, and the buffet, you're not going to get really good food. But we did notice a lot of times the main dining menu had the same menu items as the buffet did, which I really appreciated that.
And the second time we did the Eurodam, it wasn't quite as elegant in the buffet as the rest, the sit-down restaurants, but it was pretty close. So I give Holland an A for their buffet is always great food. The quality is amazing. The vegetables, the meats, the variety, it's great. Now, after being on other cruises, the style of, some people love this, and if you do, it's great, where they serve everything to you. So
on the buffet.
On the buffet, they serve, and so there's lines. So you're going to wait in lines, for everything. And that can be intimidating if you're wanting to just grab a piece of bread real quick or grab something, as there's a line that wraps around everywhere, and it kind of gets a little clunky, So if you're wanting a slow pace, calm cruise, this is great, because and if you're wanting, I know a lot of people that cruise don't want everyone reaching over their food. So if that's how you feel, this is the perfect cruise for you, because they're going to serve you all the food's covered. You tell them what you want, they give you the food.
Well, and you're not sharing the serving utensils with other cruisers.
Yeah.
And so I do know that a lot of people really appreciated that, because only the service staff are handling all the utensils. So you don't have a lot of that cross-contamination with like touching the same server spoons as the person behind you. And so a lot of people do appreciate that. I prefer the other way, where I can serve myself, because it's quicker. And if you just want to grab something really fast in one section, you don't have to wait for the entire line to get one item off that buffet section.
And that is how I feel as well. I didn't think I cared, but now I care after doing Princess and hopping in, hopping out. I'm just going to go grab another of this and just grab it, and you're back to your seat. Or with Holland America, you're waiting in the line. And there's a lot of people that are waiting in the line that are just seeing what the food is, because a lot of times you can't see because there's a huge line. So you got 20 people in front of you that just want to see what's for dinner. So that clunky style definitely, for me, tells it was a negative, and it makes me, think, options when I'm looking at cruising. But the service is amazing. So
the staff are amazing.
The service, like I said, you sit down, they're gonna wait on you, they're gonna help you. The rooms were great. They clean your room like amazing. The service with Holland America is amazing, and and every time we've gone, we've had a great time. The kids club was great.
Yes.
Teen center was great, and then they had a huge game room that they had tons of games, and they had so many hours throughout the day where if you went in there with your kid and your kid was maybe underage than the teens, you could still watch your kid and they could play games. They could, there was, what you want to go.
Oh yeah, they had in the game room, all included. Like, I want to say, we've been on cruise lines that had like arcades where the games were not included.
Yeah.
In Holland America on the Eurodam, their loft game room, everything was included. You had skee ball, you had air hockey, you had like old school pinball, which was a lot of fun. They had video games, they had table games, they had like the beanbag toss, a ton of games in there to play, and it was completely included. And so for being a Holland America ship, a lot of people say, oh, there's not a lot of things to do, or it's not kid friendly. They've changed. I feel like they're trying to change the kind of their demographics, and they made it included, which I really appreciate, because it's annoying to go on a ship, want to do something with your kid, because the kids club might be closed for a few hours, and everything is like for a fee, and you're getting nickel and dimed. On this ship, we didn't feel that, and we got to play all the games whenever we wanted with our kid, and it was just a lot of fun, and I appreciated it. And
were they still doing BB King this last time? I believe. I think they had more of a.
I don't think they had the BB King's lounge, but I think they did have the Billboard lounge, and so they had they've changed some of their entertainment venues since that refurbishment. And so definitely look into, if you're looking at the Holland America ship, look online to see what venues they have now, because things have changed.
Yeah. And like I said, if you're somebody that wants total entertainment, and I'm kind of in the middle now. I used to just not want to do nothing, see nothing. I just want to sit. If you're wanting somebody that, wants more to do, you're going to have a hard time on this ship, because there's not a ton to do. There's some things to do, and it's, like I said, it's more based on traditional cruising. And like I said, if you're someone that has cruised 25 times and you always go on Carnival, Norwegian, and Princess, you're going to go on this cruise and you're going to be kind of bored at times. It's good if you need to slow down, but if you're somebody that has only cruised once or twice, you're going to love it. You're going to love the traditional cruising. You're just going to be happy you're there. You're going to be happy because this really does make you appreciate the nature. And I think some of the places that the Eurodam goes, like I said, is Alaska, and it goes to Caribbean. It also goes to the Panama Canal or Scandinavia. A lot of these places are places.
Ooh, Scandinavia would be nice.
A lot of these places, you're not going for the ship, you're going for the places. So if that's the case and Eurodam's cheaper, go with the Eurodam, because you're going to get great food, great service, and it's going to make you appreciate the ports more. So realize if you're taking the Eurodam, you're going for the ports, you're going for the experience, you're going for the service, because it's great quality. You're going to get great quality. You're just not going to get...
It's not a party ship. It's not an entertainment ship. Even the planned entertainment is very low key. Yeah. It's not like high stimulation, not like loud music everywhere. It's very calm. It's relaxing. And so if you're going and you need to relax on vacation, this is a really good ship to disconnect, to unwind,
connect
slow
with
down.
Parents. Yeah, because I've seen like tons of people. I took my dad
and he loved
to Holland. We did the Oosterdam, but it was a similar
experience.
If you're just looking to connect with family and really build those memories, this is the perfect ship because the distractions are cut down. And so, I would say the first time I took the Eurodam, I'm like, 10 out of 10 because it was my first cruise. This is amazing. I always want to cruise. But now going back to Alaska and being on the Eurodam, I think I would give it like a 7.5 out of 10, which says a lot to me because I used to always compare every cruise I had been on to this cruise. But like I said, it's a good. What would you say?
I would probably be, now that we've done so many other cruise lines and other ships, it's probably a 7 or an 8. So about the same. I appreciated a lot of the local nature and local culture, and so
well, and even the Alaska cruise where they have the people come on board.
Yeah, so there's a really big Native American influence, and I really appreciate that because you are going and you're going to be in some of these areas that are still very traditional in their culture. And so they had presentations where someone from a local tribe came onto the ship and did a presentation with their son, which was really fun, and they got to see moccasins that were handmade, and they have a lot of the cultural and historical aspects that they incorporate into the experience. And so, again, we love different culture and nature and history. We really, really enjoy that aspect.
Well, they do have 7 hot tubs and 3 pools on board. And one thing that they do have really cool is their spa. Remember last time we really enjoyed that spa. So if you're somebody that, like I said, low-key, want to relax, their spa is great.
Their thermal spa, the indoor thermal spa that's at their wellness area.
Yeah, and that's great. And like I said, the entertainment is good. Like I said, if you're someone that, hasn't been on a million cruises, you're going to, we've noticed with Holland America, a lot of times they'll repeat their entertainment for years and years. So if you do one Holland America cruise, it almost seems like you're in a repeat cruise because you went the year before, where maybe a lot of the other ships don't do that as much. So like I said, if you're someone that hasn't been on Holland America before, or you haven't been in a few years, it might be okay. But if you're someone that went last year, it might be a little harder for you on the cruise. We did talk to a lot of people on the cruise that did say they were bored, but there were people that tend to, like
Norwegian or Royal Caribbean or Carnival, and they're used to a lot higher intensity. Yeah.
And like I said, the games during the day a lot of times are like, bingo or coloring, and so they're
origami. They have a whole origami crafting time.
But they do have tea. They had tea time. That was cool.
Oh yeah, and that's interesting for Holland America. It's not a British tea. It's a Dutch tea. And so it's the items that they serve you at their high tea. It's a different experience if you're used to a high tea on like a Princess, because they have a British tea. And so the food is different, the teas are different, but it is fun. I enjoyed it.
And the quality of coffee is great. You're gonna get in the buffet even, the quality. And then one thing to note is room service is free, at least at the time of making this video. Room service is free. So that's a big perk. If you're looking to relax, you could sleep in your room and you can get room service with all day. Like you could just sit there. Remember, they're just, you just any day, like any.
It was nice. And you could even get the main dining delivered to your room, your stateroom. And that was really nice. Yeah,
so there's a lot to like. If you're wanting to relax, this is the cruise line to go to. And a lot of demographic tends to be older, so it's more calm. And like I said, if you're looking to relax, you got a busy job or something, this is amazing. And Holland America tends to get preference when it comes to the ports in Alaska. So if you're taking it for Glacier Bay, you're going to probably get the better port spots on most of the ports. So know that as well. So like I said, I would give it 7.5 out of 10, and she's around the same.
Around the same.
So if you have any questions, concerns, please let us know and we'll get back to you. And make sure to like and subscribe if you like this content, or even if you don't like it, just like and subscribe. But we will see you soon.